Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, check. There we go. That's better. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Let's see. Alright, so we've got that mic in Windows turned all the way up. Boy, that's an easy one to overlook. Alright, and so let's add a little bit more gain to it. Check, 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 check. You may have to hold it. That's okay. Okay, check, check, check. All right, looks like Chris is here. It's easy for Chris. Giles is still awake. All right, who else is here? Daniel's here. Dave's here. Dave, man, it's like 2 in the morning for you, isn't it? VMix is here. Does that mean it's Tim? Oh my goodness. This is too cool. All right, check, check, check. Yeah, we'll do without the mic stand, but not right this minute. All right, guys, I need a sound check here. I'm looking for about 12 decibels. And I think maybe the only way to get it is going to be to hold it. 1 a.m. for Giles. Hey for VMix. I want to hear from Dave that really it's like almost 5 o'clock in the morning for Dave. That would be, yeah, 4:55, right, Dave? John Thompson's here. Welcome. I need to delay my mic. Thank you very much. Yeah, what did we delay it by last time? Let's turn on the audio here. Check, test, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do a clap test. Just delayed it by half a second. Let's see how we do. That's not bad. What do you guys think about a half second? Oh, that's right, Dave. It's not 5 a.m. It's 5 p.m. That's easy. All right. Looks good enough. All right. I love good enough. I'm a good enough kind of guy. Let's also go into settings and go into options, I think is where it is. And nope, that's not where it is. Is it on the performance tab? Disable twin dust update. Good. Okay, we're in good shape. We are in good shape. Very good. It's still yesterday for Dave. That's right, it's Thursday here. I get the Australian experience in trying to live stream. Although if I were in Australia, it would be a decent hour of the morning. All right, coming up on showtime here in just a second. And we're actually coming to you from the lobby of my hotel. Can you tell? All right, I need some advice from the chat. Is the mic in its current place going to work, or do I need to hold it up so it's easier to hear? Waiting on a response. Tick, tick, tick. John Thompson says nope. Hold it up. Chris says I'm looking very ethnic. Actually, I may be ethnic, but I'm sure not local. You need gain or get closer. Yeah, I think I'm going to get closer because there's a lot of background here. And my concern is that you remember the birds from the other day? Well, now we were on a beautiful island where there was there was just birds. Here we're not on an island. We're about 10 meters from a street where we're going to have all sorts of trucks going by. Okay. Tim says it's a little low. I'd hold it up. Okay, good. That's a confirmation. Then we'll go with that. We will go with that. Now, let's see. That's a lot more level. Well, I wasn't really going for level, but I could try that. Just teasing. Not even funny, was it? Restart. And opening 1. Where's opening 2? Closing. Opening. There we go. Restart. Looks like we're in good shape there. Excuse me just a moment. Okay. Well, good morning from Thailand to you guys. We'll start the show here in just a second. But it's really, really nice to see you again. I've missed you. It's been an interesting experience, and I have some reflections on Thailand to share with you today. No pictures, just commentary, for what that's worth. All right, let's see who else might have joined us. Nobody. It's going to be a minuscule show. It was one of those deals where I wasn't really sure if we were going to be able to pull this off, if I was going to be able to pull this off. So I did not promote it very heavily. I think I put one post in Facebook last night, and then, of course, scheduled it just a few minutes ago. The karaoke, no, the karaoke, that would be Tim's deal. Tim is doing a karaoke show at the next NAB, and you guys will want to see that. I don't think it's going to be part of the Streaming Idiots meetup, but you never know. Once Tim gets going on karaoke, it's hard to stop him. So we'll see. Let's see if we can't zoom in just a tad with this camera. Can we do that? Settings, advanced, properties. There we go. Well, now we can't see what we just did. Let's not do that since we can't see it. We'll leave it alone. Yes. Okay. The best of the best are here with you. There you go. That's a great way to look at it. Timothy's here. Welcome, Timothy. Good to have you, man. Giles thinks it looks nicer zoomed out. Okay, there we go. I think so too, but I never really could see the other one. There were too many windows in the way. Tim says, I don't think it's going to be official in any sense of the word. Oh, my goodness. That's too funny. Too funny. All right. How are we doing on time? I think it's time to start. Okay. You ready? I'm ready. Warning CPU overload. Ooh, that's a new message. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Well, here's the deal. Since I've got this warning of CPU overload, we're gonna cut one of our streams. So, if you're watching us on Facebook, now is your chance. Come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com right now and click the Watch Live tab so that you can get in on this show. That is, oh, and this is great because I can stop one feed without stopping all of them. So that's the deal. Let's see. Let's reconnect the chat here before we get too far going. Okay. Tim says, at some point, would you mind running through your setup today? Okay. If you insist. Actually, that's a pretty good plan. I like the way you guys do that. In fact, I was watching the first part of the vMix Funtime live show last night because I'd missed it the other day. I don't know why. I was involved with something. Cut the Twitch stream. Yeah. Okay, so come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, click the Watch Live tab, and you can get on that. And let's go in and let's go into stream settings. And we'll find the Facebook one, and we will stop the Facebook one. And immediately the CPU warning sign went off. I love that CPU warning sign. That is awesome. And the total dropped down into the 60s. That'll probably go up a little bit when we start recording here in just a second, but that's okay. All right. So let's see if anybody else just joined us. Nope. That's it. It's going to be just us guys. I like it. And by the way, if you're watching us on YouTube directly, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, and that way you can get in on the chat. So, let's see. We are connected there. We are connected there. We got that one out. I even have show notes today, see? Show notes. Yeah, you can't see that. All right. Giles fell asleep waiting for vMix Funtime live show and woke up 5 minutes after it was finished. Oh, I hate when that happened. All right. Curtis is here. Welcome, Curtis. Glad to have you. And the stable.ca. Welcome, the stable. All right, let's get going. Here we go. I think it was the one key. Let's see what happens. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair. This is Streaming Idiots, and we're working with vMix 21 today, and we are in Thailand today, and we are in the lobby of the hotel today, the Red Ginger Chic Inn, which is really pretty cool. Yeah, buffering during the overload. There's no doubt about that. Yep, sorry about that, guys. In fact, we may have a little bit of buffering here and again. we're borrowing internet from the dining room, from the lobby, and from another wireless access point down the hall to see to make all this work. So at special request to talk about, before we get into the guts of today's show, let me tell you a little bit about my setup. Coming to you from Krabi, Thailand, which is a town on the coast. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Won't bore you with that. Waiting for a truck to go by. We're about 10 meters from a kind of a side street. Beautiful hotel, beautiful location. The camera today is a Logitech C920. The microphone is a ATR2100 USB. It's been delayed by 500 milliseconds to sort of match up to the video from the camera. The main PC is an ASUS laptop, not the gaming version, just the regular desktop version. It is an i7 with the Intel graphics. So it's not particularly suited for this task, but it's the best one I could borrow. Truck noise is not a problem. Good. It's a major problem for me. Thank you, Dave. The ASUS is, I think, 16 megs RAM, solid-state drive. We're using the hotel internet, which I tested just a minute ago at about 12 megs upload. So I think we've got plenty of upload, unlike the other day when we didn't. I'm using vMix 21.0.0.35. I think this is the latest, greatest. It was as of midday yesterday. And it has a new feature in it that I absolutely love, which it has a big red sign at the bottom, not a big red sign, small red sign in the stats area that says, warning, CPU overloaded. So I guess at about 75 or 80%, that rascal pops on, and we're sitting at about 84% right now. So we'll see how we do. We're actually overloading this PC with one camera and one mic and one stream and one recording. So we'll take it from there. The mic and the camera are USB. The internet access is Wi-Fi. You know, we're kind of breaking a few rules here, but sometimes you do what you've got to do. Welcome, James. Glad to have you. Let's see who else might have joined us here. Nope, that's it so far. This is not going to be a lengthy show today, but I did have a great opportunity. I'm going to lean forward a little bit here because it's just you and me talking. I did have a good opportunity for the last 14, 15 days to do some reflections. My internet was kind of off and on, so I kind of had access to some things, and I kind of didn't. And after decompressing a good bit, my mind naturally began to wander back to the whole world of live streaming. And I collected a bunch of thoughts. They are kind of random, but then again, maybe they're not so random. And these will not be in any particular order. In fact, let me bring them back up so I can put them in any order at all. Here's number one. And this is not going to be news to you. This is not going to be news. This is old stuff, but this is just me, you know, sensing something at a little deeper level. Live streaming is personal. Live streaming is very personal. Live streaming is so personal that if I had the right stat mechanism, I would know your IP address. Live streaming is not anonymous. That is, watching it or doing it, it's not anonymous. There are ways, we have ways to know who you are. And that is a strength and a weakness, but I think it's more of a strength than it is a weakness. And the strength is that you can be very personal in your live stream. You can be, regardless of what it is, whether it's a church, whether it's a sporting activity, whether it's a talk show or a town hall or whatever. It can be extremely personal if you make it that way. if you take advantage of that strength, that live streaming is personal, and you take advantage of that strength and pitch it that way, you can really connect with your audience at a much, much deeper level. Chris says, my views get real personal if they're issues. But I think you can really connect and continue to connect with your audience if you take advantage of the fact that this is such a personal medium. It's you and me. It's not a big radio or TV network. It's not a newspaper. It's not an article in a newsletter. It's not a film. It's not a post-produced production. It's you and me, and it's interactive. Yep, Chris says it very nicely. He says it's one-to-one, not like BBC or CNN or Fox. It is very one-to-one. And that is, I think that's kind of an undergirding theme to everything that I've done with, I got to turn this phone back on, with internet, with live streaming. And it's taken me a while, I guess, to understand the strength of that. And we'll try to begin to play up on that strength even more than we have in the past. Number two thing that I've learned here on my trip to Thailand is without internet, there is no live streaming. And think about that for just a second. You say, okay, well, of course, Tom, that's one of the stupidest things you've ever said. But think about it for just a minute. We are totally at the mercy of the internet. If the internet works, we live stream. If the internet doesn't work or doesn't work well, we don't. We don't always have control over that. We can put in backups. We can put in safeties. We can do everything that we can do to make sure that that works. But in the end, unless we are our own ISP and directly connected to a backbone somewhere, and even then, you know, a denial of service attack can take us out. So we are very vulnerable in that sense. I don't want to play up on that and strike fear into your heart, but it's the old thing, you know, control what you can't control and don't worry about control what you can control and don't worry about what you can't control. But this is one of those things that we really can't control. Yes, we can safeguard. Yes, we can have backups. Yes, we can do workarounds like I'm doing here, but we are subject to the internet. Live to tape is not live streaming. Tell me you didn't hear that. Holy cow. Number three, kind of same vein, and I'm not intending to pick on Mark Zuckerberg, but Facebook is fickle. If you are building your live stream around Facebook, you need to have a backup plan. You need to have an exit strategy. You need to have a second thought of what to do when suddenly Facebook doesn't work the way you want it to do. If suddenly Facebook says, we're not going to allow streaming to groups or streaming to pages, or we're only going to allow live streaming from people whose opinions we agree with, or we're only going to allow live streaming, unlimited live streaming, to people that have a certain number of viewers, or, you know, they make the rules. And they have had Facebook Live out now for, what, a year and a half. My prediction back in 2016 was, of course, that it was going to be a huge failure, and I couldn't have been any further than the truth. But now that it's been a huge success, I think Facebook is once they get through their current round of, you know, pumping out streams out there like baseball and high school football and all the different ways that they've kind of connected themselves with the live streaming world or brought their product to the world, at some point they're going to begin to say, okay, let's take a look at it and let's see what we want to do with it. Now that we've gotten a toehold, which became a foothold, which became a stronghold, what are we going to do next? And if your entire broadcast, if your entire production if your entire live streaming world is built on the Facebook foundation, you need to make a second plan starting today. You need to be able to go live to your peeps, to your community, to your tribe, without having Facebook involved. And what that means is, number one, going back to my very first statement, live streaming is very personal. You need to get personal. You need to get email addresses. You need to, like I do on my show every week, you need to push people back to the real estate, the cyber real estate that you control. If it's a website or wherever it might be, it's got to be something that's completely in your control. I want people to go to my website. I want people to go to Eastern Shore. If you're watching this on YouTube directly right now, I want you to go to easternshorebroadcasting.com and click the Watch Live tab. Number one, so you'll get it on the chat. Number two, so you'll see our little sign-up sheet over there and sign up and give me your email address. So in the event that Facebook and YouTube suddenly don't like me anymore, I can embed something else in this very same page that you're used to going to, and I can send you an email address and let you know. I can send you an email and let you know what's going on. So if you are a Tom Sinclair, if you are putting out your own live stream for whatever reason, however you're doing it, get control of your real estate. Get control of your audience, and I don't mean get in control of the rowdy ones like Chris and Giles. I mean get a handle on who your folks are, so that you can be in contact with them. If your normal means of contact, i.e. Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, if those things suddenly are not available to you the way they have been in the past. I'm not a the world is about to come to an end type guy, but I am a realist that says, you know, if you're spending time and money and carving out a part of your lifetime to devote to this, then go ahead and just throw in a little added protection. So that's the sum up of number 3. Facebook is fickle. Take it with a grain of salt. Number 4, and these are, again, if you're just joining us, these are reflections that I've had as I've been on this extended journey on the other side of the world, and it has nothing to do with the beauty of Thailand or the wonderful Thai people, the beautiful Thai language, the great Thai food. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It just has to do with me being unplugged for a while and having an opportunity to ruminate on some of these things. Again, these are not in any particular order. Number 4. Some live streamers are sold snake oil, either by an unscrupulous snake oil salesman or by somebody who doesn't know enough to know that they're selling snake oil. They're sold by the phrase, just buy this and everything will be just fine. Just buy my Gidgy gadget or my Gidgy software and everything will work perfectly. No worries. Nothing could be farther than the truth. Nothing could be farther than the truth. Live streaming is fun. Live streaming is not easy. It can be as easy as, yes, of course it can. Marriage can be as easy as, you know, school can be as easy as. Anything in life can be as easy as, but it generally isn't. And anybody that, I get crushed, and I feel very bad for people that call me and they've spent boku bucks already. And now they need somebody to make it all work for them, and that's like, what's the best analogy I can think of? It's like suddenly deciding that they need to discipline a teenager. Yeah, it's not going to work quite that way. It's like if you're into car racing, you know that there's a big relationship between the engine and the chassis. And you can't just take any engine and throw it in any chassis without making some mods to the chassis to take advantage of or try to cover up either some of the strengths or some of the weaknesses from the engine. So people come to me and they've bought an engine, they bought a chassis, and they're like, well, of course it should all work together. Well, it should, but sometimes it takes some expertise either on your part or on the part of your provider. I like to think of myself as selling the full package, the engine and the chassis, the complete car, all ready to go. All you have to do is stick the key in it, and I'll teach you how to drive. But for people that want to build their own NASCAR race car, it can be a real struggle. I have a client right now who has had somebody build them a computer, and they're using vMix on it, and now the pressure is, this is personal stuff, but well, let me just lay it out there anyway. And the pressure is on me from them to make everything work. Well, I didn't build your computer. You know, if there's a problem with the video card, that's not a vMix issue. That's your problem. And it's hard to say that gently. And you know, in this particular case, the person I'm working with didn't make any of the decisions. They're just the one that's at the tail end of the line. And I'm having to tell them, you know, this is not something I can help with. This is something that you're going to have to go back to somebody else that sold you the chassis. You're going to need a major tech that can help you put all this stuff together and tweak the chassis, because all I did is provide the engine. Anyway, there's got that little rant off my chest. I feel so much better. And it's all about me feeling better, isn't it? The Chronicles of Senior. Yeah, that's right. Last thing, and then I want to come back and read through your comments. These are my reflections on my trip here. No, these are my reflections as I'm on a trip in Thailand and unplugged. And my fourth reflection is, I've picked my team. Eastern Shore Broadcasting has picked its team. Some companies don't pick a team. They have everybody on their team. If you want Wirecast, great, we'll sell you Wirecast. If you want vMix, great, we'll sell you Wirecast. If you want to use XSplit, that's fine, no problem. If you want to use OBS, by all means, use OBS. I've picked my team. My team, the quarterback for my team is vMix. You know, I've got a really fast wide receiver in PTZ Optics. I've got some really good offensive guards, centers, tackles in Magewell and Yuan. I've got a little scat back out here, just, you know, one of these little 120-pound fastest greased lightnings players in X Keys. And I've got some other folks that I'm looking at bringing onto the team. We're looking at bringing Bird Dog onto the team. We're looking at bringing Panimation onto the team because they're going to have some very special roles on the team. But not everybody gets to be on my team. Just the people that I want get to be on my team. The people I like, the people I understand, the people I see the benefit of having their strengths on my team. So that when you come and you want a solution that includes team members, I know these players well. I know their weaknesses, I know their strengths, I know how to make them work together, and they will work together. Yes, they will. And I know how to make them really make a live stream sing. And I encourage folks whenever possible to buy the whole team. Buy the whole team. We'll put the whole team together and make it work for you. But if all you need are piece parts, we will send you the piece parts and help you with those piece parts. But we can't be responsible for the whole team if all you're doing is buying a couple of players. All right, so there are my rants from my my reflections after being unplugged for a while. Let's see what you guys have to say. And want to give a shout out and a welcome to Jerome. Glad you're here. And let's see. Zen Claire, I like that. I like that. Kiwi Cliss, have a client that's a funeral home wanting a plug-and-play streaming service that's automated and cheap. I've given up trying to sell him. Well, you can have, what is it? You can have good, you can have fast, and you can have cheap, but you can't have all three at the same time. Yep, you get to pick. John says it's made all the worse when you have to tell customers that the kit they've already bought isn't up to the job. Yeah, or times, John, where the kit they bought probably is up to the job, but it's like that chassis. It needs to be tweaked. You know, we need a little bit on the right rear and a little bit off the left right. I mean the front right. It's one of those kinds of things where you have to go in. I mean, it's the secret sauce. It's the stuff that I sell all the time. That's the intangibles. To say, when you plug in my PC, it just works. When you plug in my live streaming gear stuff, it just works because I've engineered it to work based on what your needs are. And the wise folks, and here it is, and yeah, and it's kind of interesting after dealing with this for a while. It's not always the wise people that end up doing business with me. Sometimes it's the people that are very fearful. And they're fearful because they've got a lot of pressure and it needs to work, and it needs to work the first time. And they know that they're in a position where, at least today, they don't know what they need to know. They might in the future, but today they need to rely on somebody else's knowledge and expertise, and they need to pay for that. And I think that's worthwhile. I was dealing with a client a couple of weeks ago, and you know, they had a marginal PC, and they were trying to do more than marginal things with it, and they were having not good results. Part of it was because they didn't know what they were doing. I mean, they just literally didn't. And the other was that they were trying to make things do the things that they weren't necessarily intended to do, and that's just the way it goes. Welcome, Frank. Glad to have you. All right, let's see some other comments here. Oh, John's waiting for the revelation that I'm now a Twitcher. You know, I will take a look. I know that there's some folks out there that are using Twitch, that are moving to Twitch, that are you know, making the Twitch part of their new philosophy, their new sales game. And you know, probably I think it's the lure of the demographic. And I don't know that that's my demographic. That doesn't mean I won't go to Twitch. It just means that I'm not gonna sell the cow for a handful of beans that say Twitch on them. You know, that's the thing. I can tell the sun is beginning to come up a little bit here because my color is beginning to change. Let's see, what other comments did I make? Don't sell the farm, the cow, for Twitch beans. All right, Chris said, had that a month ago. One IP sent lots and lots of requests and crashed my stream before my webmaster blocked his IP. Oops, and then I lost that comment again. Let's see. We'll go back to that. Luckily, I had two streams and everyone just switched over. Well, there is a benefit to that. Yeah, and that's a great idea. My good friend Amnon Nissan from Nissan Communications, when he live streams, I think he's live streaming about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 different destinations at the same time. A lot of them are free. In fact, I think all of them are free. And you can pick which one you want. If one of them goes down, you just click a button. And he's got it on his website where the web page doesn't reload. It just reloads a player right in that player cutout. So that's pretty cool. You look very relaxed. I'm pretty relaxed. There's definitely that. Actually, we're leaving Krabi today and heading back to Bangkok, which will be not relaxed. Bangkok's a madhouse. And then we fly home tomorrow night, which will be morning. Let's see, tomorrow night will be Friday night, which will be Tuesday. Never mind. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else. I can't wait. This is what I'm looking forward to. Can't wait to get back to my studio. Can't wait to get back to my studio, load up vMix 21, put it through back onto that feature request. I would encourage you, if you have something that you're interested in having vMix put in there, is to make a feature request on the vMix forum. That's forums, plural, forums.vmix.com. There's a feature request there section. But if you do that, also go ahead into the Streaming Idiots group, and I hope you're a member. And if you're not, you can become one. Facebook.com/groups/Streaming Idiots. Go ahead and make a note on the Streaming Idiots group that you've posted that feature request there, because sometimes a note on the Streaming Idiots group is going to reach a different audience than the folks that read the forum regularly. Uh-oh. They say I'm offline. It's all red here. We're just going to keep going until until we find out that we're not live streaming anymore. Let's see. There was one other thought, and it just left my little brain. Oh well. That's what happens when you're on an extended vacation. Your brain kind of hits this kind of bare minimum level where it's just like, okay, eat, drink, walk, swim, repeat. And it's been a ball. But no, we'll be back in the studio next Monday, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And look forward to talking with everybody that is interested in live streaming. And I miss the studio. I miss all the monitors. I miss so much. This is okay. Thank you, John. I'm okay at the moment. Broadcasting out here in the wild is a lot different than in the studio. The comfort level is not there. So the studio. Oh, that's the other thing, is I finally got a lease on bricks and mortar. So we'll be transferring the studio to the new location a little at a time until we finally have to completely unplug and move everything out there. But it shall be interesting, as they say. It shall be interesting. Well, we're going to wrap up here because it looks like the stream is a little intermittent, and that probably has to do with the internet here. At least we'll blame it on that. Thank you for taking time out of your evening or your morning or the middle of the night, as the case may be, Giles, to tune in and plug in. And I know coming up in the weeks, in the shows to come, I know we're going to have Mike from Panimation on to talk about the Panimation software. It's basically $100 graphics editing software that will do live telestrator using NDI, which I think is going to be really, really cool, and we're looking forward to having that. I'm looking forward to having the Bird Dog guys on as we adopt the Bird Dog line. We're gonna make give Bird Dog a forever home, and excited about that. Have those guys on there. Looking forward to having David or Luria from the Live Streaming Pros on to talk about a very personal internet. What would we call it? Talking about a project they're working on for this summer on engaging the community, kind of what point number 1 was today. So that's going to be something to look forward to. And then, of course, we hope to have some of those vMix characters on, maybe some of the PTZ Optics folks, the Magewell folks, the Yon folks, and the X-Keys folks on to talk about some of the other players on our team. So I'm looking over here at the chat. Yeah. So we're going to wrap up the show, and we'll hang around in post-show for just a minute. So look forward to seeing you guys next week. That will be 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern time Wednesday afternoon, for another exciting episode of Streaming Idiots. So if you're watching live, stick around. We'll be right back. And we are out. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. Yeah. And actually we need, no, boy, we really need to adjust that cam now. Hang on, give me a second here, guys. What I did was I turned off the automatic settings on the camera. And there we go. That's better, because the light is continually adjusting here. It's not like a studio. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Giles. Thank you, Giles. A little challenging, indeed. Indeed. Yay, back to 2 p.m. Central. Yes, indeed. It won't be the early morning. What is Dave selling? I might want to buy some. If it's Girl Scout cookies, I'm definitely in. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, the challenging of being in a setup like this really are many. I mean, here I am in the studio lobby. You want to take a look? Of course you do. I would. So let's move you around here, and you can see there's the check-in counter over there. There's the street. Here's the bar where I am. And I'll tell you, one thing I've really been taken by is Thai architecture. Just really super cool. And then right around the corner there, I don't know if you can see, where that lady's walking, just to her right is a wonderful swimming pool with a swim-up bar. And then, of course, my set right here, which I didn't build. It came this way. So let's hook you guys back up right there. There we go. Very cool. Explain how to order Panimation. Well, that's easy. You can order it from easternshorebroadcasting.com. Yes, you can. So we will have a link on there very shortly. You can download it right now, and if you don't have a license key, it'll be, I think, a 2-week trial. So you can test it out, and we'll put a link on our website, easternshorebroadcasting.com, real soon. Yeah. Bit early to be in the bar. Well, actually, the bar is really nice. When you arrive, they give you this Thai concoction that's red, very, very red. Everything is red with their red ginger motif. But the bar has 2-for-1 specials frequently, which is when there are 3 of us in my party, so the 2-for-1 never really works out. But that's all right. We're not that bar intensive. The one thing, are you? What? Let's see. What is Chris asking? vMix asked for a setup look. Oh, a setup look. Okay, sure. We can do a setup look. Here's a setup look. There's the microphone. Cable. Yep, that's what it looks like. And then here's the laptop that's doing the production. Nothing fancy there. It's just an ASUS with an i7 processor. That's the USB to the mic. That's the USB to the cam. And then I've got my trusty old Dell laptop, and I mean old, that's just monitoring the chat and hooked into the Wi-Fi. So both these guys are on Wi-Fi. I mean, you know, it can't get much simpler in that sense. Let's put the camera back. There we go. There we go. Two laptops. Yeah, the second laptop is just for chat. I mean, I could have monitored the chat here on the phone as easily as anything else, but I just use the phone for my notes. So those are my show notes today. And that is the setup. That is the setup. There we go. There we go. Dave, I'm sure you have showed Charlie the Panimation software, because I think the Telestrator would be a great thing for you guys to add to your offering. Makes a lot of sense to do it that way. For $100 to get Telestrator software in there like that, I'd buy I'd go out and buy 50 licenses. So that I had them available at that price. All right, guys. Well, we're going to close up the show here, and I appreciate you getting up early, staying up late, or skipping lunch, whatever the case might be, to tune in today. But we will be back in the studio next week, ready to go, ready to get back to life. To normal life, as it were. So, adios from Thailand. How do they say goodbye in Thailand? You know, I don't even know. All I've really learned is thank you, which is Kap Kun Kan. Kap Kun Cat. Cap, excuse me. Kap Kun Cap. There it is. That's thank you in the very familiar sense. There's also a less familiar sense. So we'll be flying for 28 hours, and then we're home. No problem. No problem. See you guys. And we'll let the stream run out for a little bit here, just so you don't... Let's see, where is our stream run out window? Oh, there it is. And we will see you guys later.